with me, Guy Royse. Hello, Internet peoples. My name is Guy Royse, and I'm a developer advocate here at Redis Labs. And today we're going to do something that, well, at least half of you are going to care about. I took a look at the State of the Internet survey from Stack Overflow, or the Stack Overflow survey, and they said that half of all developers are using Windows as their primary operating system. And we've got a blog post on installing Redis on Windows that is one of our most popular blog posts. So there's a lot of you out there that want to install Windows, or rather want to install Redis on Windows. And so I thought I would show you how to do that. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use this bright, shiny new Windows 10 Home Edition that I installed into a virtual machine on my MacBook. And we're going to use the Windows Subsystem for Linux. So let's get started. Let's take a look at my desktop here. There we go. Here's my nice, bright, shiny new Windows 10 Home Edition. And the first thing we need to do is enable or turn on Windows Subsystem for Linux. So we can just go to our little search button here and go to turn Windows features on or off. That's part of the control panel. And it gives you a whole list of options here. And I'm just going to scroll down until we see Windows Subsystem for Linux. It is currently unchecked. As you might imagine, checking this will enable the Windows Subsystem for Linux. It's now enabled. I'm going to hit OK, and this is going to install some software and reboot my virtual machine. So let's go ahead and click that, and let's watch it search for files and blah, 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 blah. And here we are now with the Restart Now button. So we click that, and it restarts and installs stuff. And we'll just sit here and wait while it spins. Restarting. Here comes the... See, I told you I was using a virtual machine. Windows is coming back. This goes fairly quick on mine because I've turned this on and off a few times. Your initial install may take a bit longer. I've rehearsed this video a couple times. You can tell it's very polished. Let me log into my Windows account. And once I'm logged in, we should have Windows Subsystem for Linux up and running. Doesn't look any different, does it? Well, it won't. But I promise you the subsystem's installed, but we don't have Linux yet. We just have the subsystem. So what we need to do next is install a version of Linux that we want to use. I'm going to use Ubuntu, and I'm going to do that with the Microsoft Store. So if I go up here and search for Ubuntu, I'm going to pick 20.04 long-term support because it's the latest, greatest, and most updated version that is available on the store. I'm going to click install. And it should start downloading this. And it asked me to sign into the store. I don't want to do that. Just install it, please. Thank you. And this should install fairly quickly. You just have to download it. It's not that big. Here it goes. And we've got that line showing percentage done that actually is not linear. See, now it's accelerating much quickly, and we're almost there. Oh, wait, no, we're not there yet. It's done. Excellent. Okay, so now we've got Windows Subsystem for Linux installed. Enabled. We've got Ubuntu installed. And so let's go ahead and run Ubuntu. And this is just run from search here from the start button, just like any other Windows application, whether, if you're running Office, you would be doing it the same way. And so now we got it going. And then it's got to go through its own internal install process. This may take a few minutes, as they say here. So we'll fast forward the video until we get ready. There we go. We are done. It's done taking its few minutes, and it wants a user account. I'm going to use Guy because that's my name. I recommend you use your name as well, but you may use Guy if you really, really want to. And then I'm going to give it a password. It's going to be the same as for my Windows login. And now I've got Ubuntu. We do an ls-l. We can see that there are indeed files in my home directory. And we got the user at hostname. My virtual machine, or my Windows machine actually is named Sporket, which I just thought was funny. So we've got Linux. What now? Well, now you might be thinking we could just do a sudo apt-get install Redis. Well, that won't work. Partly because you need to do redis-server, but also because it doesn't know what Redis is yet, right? So if I try this, this should fail. Yeah, unable to locate package Redis server. So we have to add a repository. Sudo apt-add-repository, and then ppa Redis Labs /Redis. And helps if I spell Redis correctly. There we go. Also helps if I spell apt correctly. And it wants me to press enter so that it can do the things it needs to do. I shall do that. And it's going to go through and download a whole bunch of stuff and install it. And we're done with that. Now we need to update and upgrade our package manager. So sudo apt-get update. This should go fairly quick, and then the upgrade will take a very long time. So we'll kick that off. It'll prompt us and say, do we want to continue? It's going to upgrade all these packages. There's a lot of packages here to upgrade, including parts of Ubuntu and just all sorts of stuff. So let's go ahead and update or upgrade it all. And this is the one where I'm just going to take a little nap while we fast forward through this, and you get to see it in super fast magic video editing time. Oh, almost fell asleep there. It says it's done, but it's lying to us. It's not done yet. And we're done. That took a few minutes. It's funny when you first run Ubuntu for the very first time, it says it's going to take a few minutes, and then it takes like 60 seconds, and then this actually takes a few minutes. So anyhow, now that it's done, we have a updated and upgraded package manager, or an updated package manager. We've added the repository. We've upgraded all the packages we have installed already. Now it's just a matter of installing Redis. So in order to do that, sudo apt-get install Redis server. This will install Redis server, Redis client, all the Redis pieces, parts that you know and love. Yes, I totally want to do this. And Redis is now installed. It's not running, but it is installed. So if we do redis-server --version, we'll see that we are running version 6.0.9, which at the time of this video recording is the latest, greatest, most updated version. And so we should be able to just kick that off. So let's do that. And there we go. Redis is running. Let's go ahead and connect to Redis. I'm going to go ahead and launch another Ubuntu terminal. We'll move this over to the right here. And we'll run Redis CLI. Redis CLI will let us connect to that Redis instance. So you can see that we've connected to localhost, port 6379. And if we do ping, we get a pong. We do lol what, we get ASCII art. And if we set a key, we can set foo equal to 42. And then we can get foo 42. All right, just get foo. There we go. There is no, yeah, that was just wrong. But so we can see that we've got a Redis version, latest version of Redis instance up and running. And so that's fantastic, right? Now we might be looking at this and thinking, well, I want this to run in the background, sort of like a daemon or a Windows service. That is not a problem. All you have to do is say sudo service Redis server and start, and it will sudo service, not server. I had a nickel for every single time I typed those wrong. So sudo service Redis server start will then start the service. So if I go here, say get foo, now Redis is connected and disconnected and reconnected, the CLI has. And so getting foo gives us nothing, but we can see that we have ping and we have lol what, And we can say set, foo to 42. And if we get it, it is indeed working again. And we've got it as a server, or as a service. If we want to stop that service, you might not be surprised to learn this. You can say sudo service Redis server stop, and then it stops. And if you want to restart it, say it's stopped, and you want to bounce it, or if it started and you want to bounce it, you just use restart. If you do restart and it stopped already, it will just start it. So we now have a Redis server up and again. Memory's been flush again, so if we do a get foo, again, we'll be disconnected. Oh, actually, it looks like it saved it this time. So it must have had enough time it expired that it wrote it out to the RDB file. So this is an instance of Redis up and running, but we're only looking at it working from Linux, right? Let's see it running from RedisInsight, from actually running from Windows. And so RedisInsight is a GUI for Redis. You can download it at redislabs.com. And I'm going to go ahead and not maximize that so we can see the everything kind of happening here all at once. And I've got this set up already, but I'm going to go ahead and delete this database instance and show you how to set one up. So when you first set it up, you'll get this little I already have a database, or I don't have a Redis database. We have one already. It's running on Windows. We want to connect to it, and we provide the host name, which will be a localhost. We'll give it the port, 6379, the default port. We'll give it a name. We'll call it Sporket. And we don't have a username or password. We're not using TLS. Click Add Redis Database, and so you get Sporket on localhost 6379. If I click that, I can go browse, and we can actually see our keys already. There's our foo key. But it has a little CI built in, so we'll do that. We'll do the ping, get the pong, we'll do the lol what, and it doesn't understand ANSI escape codes, so we'll get all the ANSI codes. But I promise you that image is hiding in there. And then if we do a get foo, we can see we get foo there. So we now have Redis. We have Redis running on Windows, Subsystem for Linux, and it is available from Windows applications. So if I had application code running in my Windows instance, I could totally access this Redis server. I could access it over the network if I wanted to as well, if I set it up to do that. So pretty cool. We installed Windows Subsystem for Linux. We added an Ubuntu instance, and then we used the package manager in Ubuntu to install Redis, and then we used RedisInsight to talk to it from Windows. So that's how you set up Windows with Redis. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Hit me up on social media. I'm always on Twitter. And you can see the Twitter account is right there. I'm @GuyRoyse. So feel free to hit me with any questions there as well. And y'all have a good day.